It started like any regular day. My name's Daniel Carter, I'm 42, divorced, no kids, and I work as a property manager in Billings, Montana. Most days I just show up, fix a leak, check some units, drink bad coffee, and go home to silence. But on March 3rd, something shifted. That morning, I woke up from a dream. Not a nightmare, not a memory, just something else. In the dream, I was standing in a field at night. It was foggy, and someone whispered, "You need to look deeper." When I opened my eyes, I felt like the dream followed me out of sleep. By the end of that week, I had 3 more dreams, all with the same message. No horror, no monsters, just someone unseen, speaking words that felt more like instructions. Things like, "You're not who you pretend to be. There's something you forgot. Ask the right question." I didn't think much of it until one night I found myself talking back in the dream, like I was having a conversation with the darkness. I woke up sweating, but not afraid, just confused. I started Googling stuff like, "Why do I talk in my dreams?" Recurring dream voice meaning, dreams that feel like someone's watching you. That's when I found Carl Jung. I didn't know who he was, but one article said, Jung believed dreams are messages from the unconscious trying to help you grow. It hit something deep, because I wasn't scared of these dreams. I was curious. So I bought one of his books, Man and His Symbols. On March 9th, I started keeping a dream journal. Every morning, even if I remembered just a single image, I wrote it down. Some entries were just lines like, "Red door, no handle, water rising, I couldn't swim, someone watching from behind glass." But then something strange happened. I noticed my dreams started getting clearer and weirder. Almost like my unconscious knew I was paying attention. 3 weeks into journaling, I saw a face in a dream. Clear, detailed, familiar, but I couldn't place it. It was a young man, maybe early 20s, with messy brown hair and tired eyes. He looked at me and said, "We've met before. You just don't remember." I woke up at 4:17 a.m., heart racing. That same face showed up again, 3 nights in a row. No name, no backstory, just him. This is where it started getting weird. Not in dreams, but in real life. One afternoon, I was walking to my truck and saw someone across the street. Same posture, same haircut, same walk. I blinked. He was gone. I laughed it off at first, but my hands were shaking. I started wondering, was my mind blending dream and reality? I hadn't seen a therapist in years, but I found one in Bozeman who specialized in Jungian analysis. Her name was Dr. Ellen Marks. She was calm, patient, older, the kind of woman who made silence feel safe. I told her everything. The voice, the dreams, the journal, the face. She didn't flinch. She said, "You're not going crazy. You're waking up. Let's keep going." Over the next few weeks, my dreams became more organized. I started seeing the same symbols again and again. A spiral staircase that never ends. A broken watch ticking anyway. A blue bird flying in slow motion. Dr. Marks said, "These are archetypes, universal images from the collective unconscious. They show up when the soul wants to speak." It didn't sound mystical. It felt like truth. By late April, the voice in the dreams changed tone. It no longer whispered. It spoke clearly, directly. One night, the voice said, "If you want to know the truth, stop lying to yourself." I sat up in bed, gasping, because I knew exactly what it meant. There was something I hadn't told anyone, not even Dr. Marks, a secret I buried 20 years ago. And now, The dreams were digging it up. It was May 2nd. I had a dream where I stood in a hospital hallway, lights flickering overhead. The young man with the tired eyes stood across from me. He looked sad, not angry. He said one line, "You left me here." I woke up shaking, heart pounding. That day, it hit me hard. This wasn't just a dream. This was a memory. 20 years ago, when I was 22, I walked away from someone I should have protected. My younger brother, Matt. We'd grown up rough. He got into drugs. I couldn't handle it. I cut him off. He died of an overdose 6 months later, and I never forgave myself. I brought it to Dr. Marks. I told her everything, how I'd buried it, how I'd convinced myself I had no choice. I waited for judgment. There wasn't any. She said, "Sometimes the mind buries truth, not out of weakness, but out of survival." Then she added, "But now you're strong enough to face it." I broke down in her office that day, for the first time in years, not out of shame, but relief. That night, I dreamt again. Only this time, the voice wasn't the voice anymore. It was me, younger, raw, but still me. I stood in front of my brother in the dream. I said I was sorry. He smiled and said, "You can stop running now." The moment I hugged him in that dream, I felt something shift in my chest. Like a knot I'd carried for 20 years just let go. Something changed after that. Colors looked brighter. I started sleeping through the night. I smiled more. Real smiles, not the tight, polite ones. Even people at work noticed. "Did you cut your hair? Did you meet someone?" No, I just met myself. I still dreamed every now and then, but the urgency was gone. They weren't warnings or riddles anymore. Now they were peaceful, symbolic, reflective. One dream showed me building a house in the woods. Another, me laughing with my brother by a lake. I told Dr. Marks, "I think the dreams are done." She smiled and said, "Or maybe they've done their job." It was months later when I finally understood what Carl Jung meant by, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." I realized I wasn't a victim of fate. I was a prisoner of my own buried pain. The dreams weren't supernatural. They were messages from me to me. I'm not a therapist. I don't claim to be wise. But I started a local men's support group, just 6 guys. We meet every Thursday at the VFW hall. We talk about real things: regret, anger, forgiveness, dreams. I tell them, "You're not broken, you're just unfinished." And I mean it. Last month, I had one more dream I'll never forget. I was standing on a mountain, fog all around. A young version of me stood beside me, silent. Then he looked at me and said, "We're the same now." I nodded. No fear, no running, just wholeness. So, if you're watching this and thinking, "That's weird," I get it. But sometimes, the only way to wake up is by going to the deepest part of your own mind. You don't need to believe in dream magic. Just believe that your mind, your soul, is trying to talk to you. And when it does, listen.